hatred and spite and revenge because Harvard won't go along with Trump's authoritarian dictatorial project. Come on. The law says you can't do that. I feel so confident because this decision by the administration was so ill-founded that this will not fly. There's no basis to do it. Look, if there's a couple of people at Harvard who have overstepped bounds, who've if they have violated rules in protests, if they're anti-Semitic, what have you, go to court. But you know what, Brian? Those efforts have been failing too, where the Trump administration has been trying to deport individuals, sometimes abducting them to far off states. Individual students, the courts have said, no, the First Amendment protects that too. So Trump is losing, and he's going to keep on losing in this case, and that's going to be permanent.
And what do you make of the fact that this administration, first off, loves to beat its chest as these defenders of free speech? I mean, these people predicated so much of their political ideology, their political identity, on this idea that they were being silenced for years and years and years at the hands of these evil, communist, Marxist Democrats. And yet now they are deporting people to countries that they've never known because they've written op-eds, for example, that they don't agree with.
When I've testified in Congress, I've had to listen to this hypocrisy where you have members of the MAGA party complaining social media is censoring us because they won't broadcast, for example, invitations to the January 6, 2021 insurrection. They talk a big game about censorship, but it only applies to their election denial and other crazy ideologies. MAGA actually doesn't believe in the Constitution. They don't believe in free speech. They believe in the whims of Donald Trump. Well, guess what? This country is still run by a Constitution. We have courts who will enforce it. And the treatment of these students, including and others who are being deported, abducted, Brian, to dark site prisons. No, the courts are not tolerating that. Even the Supreme Court pushing back on some of this by a majority in the case of the abduction of migrants. Underneath it are constitutional protections, free speech, due process, and they apply to Harvard's targeting of these 7,000 students, or they apply to the targeting by Trump of Harvard's 7,000 students, the same way they do to those accused migrants who have been abducted and deported. The courts won't tolerate it, nor should they. This is still the United States of America.
Norm, this is less a legal question and more kind of a political or human question. But when you have these international students who are obviously talented enough, intelligent enough to get into Harvard, when you are expelling these people as the President of the United States, what does it do to our ability to aggregate the best talent in the world here in the United States, so that when they innovate, when they create moving forward, when they start businesses, when they find the cure for some long-standing disease, they're no longer in the United States. Now we've expelled them to other countries. We've basically ceded that ground to China or whoever is going to be falling over themselves to take these kids.
Trump's actual slogan, Brian, should be "Make America Small Again" or "Make America Poor Again," because part of what has contributed to American greatness is we are a nation of migrants, including our education system. And students like these 7,000 or so Harvard students who've been unconstitutionally targeted by Trump come here. They contribute. I'm a graduate of Harvard Law School, so I know they contribute to the law school community. They make us all better. They contribute financially, but many of them stay. And they truly
Right.
make America great in the sciences, in our innovations, in business, providing health care, doing so much for our country. That's what powered us to be the mightiest, most prosperous, most successful country on earth. Driving them away is only going to harm all Americans. Shame on Donald Trump. Fortunately, less than 24 hours, the court said this is complete unconstitutional, illegal garbage. They've frozen it, and rightly so. This will never succeed. So we should send a message because some of these foreign students who at Harvard and elsewhere who are discouraged and chilled, and they're the attempted targets of bullying. Don't listen to Donald Trump. The Constitution and the courts will protect you. You are welcome in the United States. As a Harvard alum, you're welcome at Harvard. Come on in. We got your back. Brian, I'm also working with some Harvard students to make sure they're well protected. We have your back, and the Constitution has your back.
Norm, when Trump brings forward a lawsuit like this one against Harvard, and it's such an open and shut case, it is so blatantly unconstitutional, so easily dismissible by these judges, so easy to overturn. Does that make his subsequent efforts in the court that much less potent because judges can see, at least from an atmospheric perspective, how frivolous the lawsuits that they're bringing forward are, and how unserious of a litigant him and his White House is?
Brian, the story of Trump's first 120 days plus has been he's losing. The courts have seen that he has no intention of continuing the American democracy project. He wants to instill a dictatorship here. This is one of the clearest acts yet. They're fed up with him, and that's why you see them giving him less and less credit. He's lost over 150 times. We've never seen anything like that in
Yeah.
American history. Judges of both parties losing patience with him. All of his nominees at the United States Supreme Court, 7-2 just last week. They said, you've got to give due process to migrants who are here. You can't abduct and expel them. And they said in that opinion, Brian, your exact point, because you haven't brought Abrego Garcia back, they said, we're going to apply extra protections. They're applying extra pressure to him.
Right.
They're fed up, and they should be. It's only going to get worse for Donald Trump in the courts from here on out.
Well, Norm, you have been on the front lines of this fight, bringing as many lawsuits against this administration as anybody there is. So very appreciative of your actions here. How can we help Democracy Defenders Fund?
Friends, come to our website, Google Democracy Defenders Fund. You'll see all of the almost 70 legal matters that we've worked on to fight Trump's autocracy. We're winning from coast to coast. We had several more big victories this week in stopping Donald Trump. By supporting us, we're helping some of these Harvard students. You can help there too. Come on over, learn the information that we share, and if you feel like supporting us financially, we love it. Democracy Defenders Fund on the internet near you.
All right. Well, I'll put that link on the screen and also in the post description. Norm, I appreciate the work that you and your team are doing.
Brian, thanks for letting me share that work with you and your audience, and always a privilege.